In recent months, the worlds of technology and sports have found themselves on the brink of changes that until recently seemed like science fiction, but today are rapidly becoming a new reality. At first glance, this looks like an impressive demonstration of engineering mastery, but in reality, it reflects a much deeper shift that is already being discussed by leading analytical centers and authoritative publications around the world. We are talking about a new generation of robots developed by Japanese engineers, capable of performing actions with a level of precision unattainable for humans. And one such robot is currently causing a real sensation. The machine, created with the participation of engineers from Toyota, demonstrates the ability to hit a basketball hoop flawlessly. And it does so not as a trick, but as a systematic, repeatable operation refined to mathematical perfection. This is not just a robot throwing a ball. It is a demonstration of how algorithms, sensors, and mechanics can merge into a single system and produce results that go beyond human capabilities. At first glance, it may seem like just another experiment, a visually appealing demonstration of technology for exhibitions and presentations. But if you look deeper, it becomes clear that this marks the beginning of a new era in sports. According to industry insiders, major technology companies are already considering the creation of full-fledged robotic leagues where machines will compete with each other in various disciplines. And if today it is basketball, then tomorrow it could be football, tennis, track and field, and even extreme sports. Analysts note that such competitions could attract massive audiences as they combine elements of sports, technology, and entertainment, creating an entirely new format. The robot itself is an extremely complex system in which every component operates with precision comparable to fine craftsmanship. Its movements are calculated in real time, taking into account dozens of parameters, including the angle of the throw, force, ball spin, distance to the hoop, and even microscopic vibrations of the body. It uses high-precision gyroscopes, high frame rate cameras, and machine learning algorithms that allow the robot to constantly adjust its actions. Essentially, it does not just execute a program, it learns and adapts by analyzing each previous shot and improving the next one. This is what makes it not just a machine, but a system that evolves. According to experts, the key revolution here is not the act of scoring itself, but the principle behind this achievement. The robot demonstrates absolute repeatability of results, which means that in the future, such systems will be able to perform any sports action with perfect accuracy. Imagine a football player who never misses the goal, or a tennis player who always places the ball exactly where needed on the court. This fundamentally changes the concept of sport, where error has always been part of the game and a source of drama. That is why more and more people are saying that we are witnessing the emergence of a new direction: robotic sports. Even now, concepts are being discussed where teams of engineers will compete not directly, but through the machines they create. This will not simply be a contest of strength or speed, but a battle of algorithms, engineering solutions, and artificial intelligence. Authoritative publications such as Nikkei Asia and MIT Technology Review are already writing that such competitions could become the next stage in the evolution of esports, but with a physical embodiment. At the same time, it is important to understand that the impact of such technologies will not be limited to arenas and stadiums. Robots capable of performing complex movements with high precision can be applied in many different areas of life. For example, in medicine, where maximum precision is required during surgical procedures, or in industry, where it is important to perform repetitive actions without the slightest deviation. In everyday life, this could lead to the emergence of a new level of home assistants capable of performing tasks that require coordination and precision, whether it is cooking, cleaning, or even childcare. A separate point of attention is the question of human interaction with such robots. Even now, engineers are working to ensure that machines can not only execute commands, but also understand context, anticipate human actions, and adapt to them. This opens the path to creating hybrid forms of sports where humans and robots will perform on the same team. Imagine a basketball match where a human makes a pass and a robot finishes the play with perfect accuracy. This is no longer science fiction, but a scenario that is actively discussed in professional circles. However, Along with opportunities come questions. If robots can perform actions better than humans, will this lead to traditional sports losing their relevance? Some experts believe that, on the contrary, this will only increase interest in human competitions, as spectators will value even more the unpredictability, emotions, and mistakes that make sports alive. Robots, on the other hand, will occupy their own niche, creating a new type of competition where the key factor is not physical training but the level of technology. Insiders from major corporations claim that in the coming years, we will see the first full-fledged tournaments involving such machines. Moreover, this is not about isolated demonstration performances, but about systematic competitions with rules, refereeing, and even broadcasts to global audiences. This could become a new billion-dollar market where the interests of technology companies, sports organizations, and media intersect. Looking at the bigger picture, it becomes clear that this robot is only the first step. It symbolizes the beginning of a process that will lead to the transformation not only of sports but of the entire entertainment industry. We have already seen how esports evolved from a niche phenomenon into a global industry, and now we are witnessing the next stage, where the virtual and physical worlds begin to merge into a single space. And perhaps the most important aspect here is that such technologies change our perception of what is possible. They show that boundaries which once seemed insurmountable can in fact be overcome through science and engineering. A robot that never misses is not just a device, it is a symbol of what humanity strives for: precision, efficiency, and control over the surrounding world. That is why today, watching this Japanese robot on a basketball court, we are in fact not looking at a single project, but at the beginning of a new era. An era in which sports, technology, and everyday life will become increasingly intertwined, creating a reality that until recently could only be seen in science fiction. And if we look one step further into the development of this technology, it becomes clear that we are approaching a moment when such robots will not just participate in competitions, but will begin to form entire ecosystems around themselves. Already now, according to industry analysts, systems are being developed in which robots will be able to train with each other without human involvement, exchanging data in real time and accelerating their own development dozens of times over. This means that progress in such disciplines will occur not over years, as with humans, but literally over weeks and months, creating a technological leap that is difficult to fully comprehend. Imagine a league where the level of play increases with every match, not because the athletes are becoming stronger, but because their algorithms are instantly updated after each game. This is no longer evolution, it is exponential growth that can completely change the rules of the game. And it is precisely here that the main question arises, one that experts are now discussing. Are we ready for a world in which perfection becomes the norm and error becomes a rare exception? Because this robot is not the final point, it is only the first demonstration of how technology is beginning to rewrite the very nature of competition, turning sport from a contest of capabilities into a demonstration of absolute precision.